don't make these mistakes when they contact you. When someone reaches out after a period of silence or distance, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions: excitement, confusion, or even hesitation. Whether it's an ex, a distant friend, or a professional acquaintance, how you handle that moment matters. This guide will dive deep into the common mistakes people make when they are contacted unexpectedly, and how to respond in a way that maintains your dignity, builds respect, and keeps you in control. Reacting too quickly. One of the biggest mistakes is responding instantly. While you might feel eager or anxious to reply, a quick response can come off as overly available or desperate. Instead, take a moment to assess the situation. What's the intent behind their message? Are they genuinely reaching out, or are they testing the waters to see if you're still available? Pausing allows you to respond thoughtfully, which conveys self-respect and emotional maturity. Overthinking their intent. It's easy to overanalyze the message. You might ask yourself, why are they reaching out now? Or what do they really want? While it's natural to consider their motives, overthinking can lead to unnecessary stress. Approach the situation with curiosity, but avoid jumping to conclusions. Often, people reach out for reasons that have more to do with them than with you. Stay grounded, and don't let their message disrupt your emotional balance. Seeking validation through their contact. Another trap is feeling validated simply because they reached out. If their contact makes you feel worthy, again, it's a sign that you might need to work on your self-esteem. Remember, your value isn't determined by whether someone chooses to reconnect. Stay confident in who you are, regardless of their presence in your life. Letting emotions take over. When someone contacts you unexpectedly, it's easy to let emotions cloud your judgment. You might feel a rush of happiness, anger, or even nostalgia. Acting on these emotions, however, can lead to impulsive responses you might regret later. Take a moment to process how you feel. Responding from a calm and composed state allows you to communicate effectively, without saying or doing something that undermines your position. Emotional control is not just a sign of strength. It's a tool for clarity. Sharing too much too soon? When someone re-enters your life, it's tempting to catch them up on everything they've missed. You might want to share personal updates, achievements, or struggles. While openness is important, oversharing early on can give away too much of your emotional power. Instead, maintain a balance. Share selectively, leaving room for curiosity and mutual exchange. By being mindful of what you reveal, you ensure that the conversation stays meaningful and respectful. Assuming the same dynamics still exist. People grow and change, and so do relationships. One mistake many make is assuming that the dynamic you shared before will pick up where it left off. This can lead to disappointment or frustration when the interaction doesn't match your expectations. Instead, approach the conversation with an open mind. Give space for the relationship to evolve naturally, rather than forcing old patterns onto the new interaction. Apologizing without reason. When someone contacts you after a long time, guilt or insecurity might tempt you to apologize unnecessarily, whether for the time apart or perceived mistakes. However, apologizing without cause can make you appear weak or overly accommodating. Unless you genuinely did something wrong, focus on having a positive, forward-thinking conversation. Let your actions and words demonstrate confidence, not regret. Playing games. Responding to someone's message isn't about manipulation. Many people fall into the trap of playing games, deliberately ignoring messages, being overly cryptic, or acting distant to maintain control. While these tactics might seem effective in the short term, they rarely lead to healthy outcomes. Instead, prioritize authenticity. Respond when you're ready and communicate with honesty. True power comes from being genuine, not playing games. Becoming overly available. It's important to show that your life doesn't revolve around someone who's just now reaching out. Being too available, replying instantly, agreeing to meet at their convenience, or prioritizing them over your plans can make you seem like you've been waiting around for them. Show that your time is valuable, respond at a pace that works for you, and maintain your commitments. This reinforces your independence and self-worth. Ignoring red flags. Sometimes the person reaching out has a history of causing you pain or confusion. In such cases, it's crucial to assess whether their intentions align with your well-being. Ignoring red flags, like inconsistent behavior, vague communication, or past toxicity, can set you up for disappointment. Pay attention to their actions, not just to their words. If something feels off, trust your instincts and proceed cautiously, letting nostalgia cloud your judgment. When someone from your past contacts you, it's easy to romanticize the good times you shared. Nostalgia can make you forget the reasons why the relationship ended, or why distance grew between you. Avoid getting caught up in the what could have been and focus on the present reality. This ensures that your decisions are based on logic and self-respect, not an idealized version of the past. Seeking closure in the wrong way. When someone contacts you after a long time, it's natural to crave closure if things ended unresolved. However, seeking closure through them can leave you vulnerable. They may not provide the answers or apologies you want, which could lead to further emotional turmoil. True closure comes from within, acknowledging your feelings, accepting what happened, and moving forward. Focus on maintaining your peace rather than chasing explanations they might not give, overcompensating to impress them. Sometimes, people try to overcompensate when someone from their past contacts them. They might brag about their accomplishments, exaggerate their current happiness, or try to appear unaffected by the separation. While it's fine to highlight your growth, overdoing it can come off as insecure or even fake. Confidence speaks louder than words. Let your progress show naturally through your tone and demeanor, not through forced efforts to impress. If someone tries to show your natural growth, let them fact-check me, allowing old patterns to resurface. If this person had a history of taking advantage of your kindness or boundaries, don't fall into the same patterns again. It's easy to revert to old habits, especially if you feel nostalgic or want to rekindle the connection. Set clear boundaries from the beginning. Show them that you've grown and that you won't tolerate behavior that doesn't align with your values. This creates mutual respect and ensures you're treated fairly. Expecting too much too soon. When someone reaches out, it's tempting to expect immediate clarity about their intentions or the future of your relationship. However, pressuring them to define things too soon can push them away or lead to frustration. Instead, let the conversation flow naturally. Take your time to understand their motives and whether reconnecting serves your well-being. Patience demonstrates emotional stability and keeps you in control of the situation. Neglecting your own priorities. One of the worst mistakes you can make is dropping your personal goals or routine to accommodate someone who suddenly reappeared. Whether it's skipping workouts, canceling plans, or ignoring responsibilities, this sends the message that their presence is more important than your life. Keep your focus on your priorities. When you show that your world doesn't revolve around them, it reinforces your self-respect and value. Once bad. Giving them instant forgiveness. If the person contacting you hurt you in the past, it's important not to rush into forgiveness without evaluating their intentions and actions. While forgiveness is powerful, it should come from a place of genuine understanding, not pressure or eagerness to reconcile. Let them earn back your trust through consistent behavior. This ensures that any rebuilding of the relationship is based on respect and accountability. Losing your composure. A sudden message from someone can trigger emotional reactions, whether it's anger, joy, or sadness. Losing your composure by venting, crying, or reacting impulsively can weaken your position. Remember, composure is strength. Take a deep breath, reflect on your feelings, and respond calmly. This not only preserves your dignity, but also sets the tone for a more balanced and respectful interaction. Forgetting to set boundaries. When someone contacts you, it's crucial to establish boundaries early on. For example, if they're asking for more of your time or energy than you're willing to give, don't hesitate to say no. Boundaries protect your emotional space and ensure that the relationship, if it continues, is healthy. Stand firm in what you're comfortable with, and don't feel guilty for prioritizing your peace. Ignoring their patterns. If this person has a history of reaching out only when it's convenient for them, or disappearing after brief interactions, pay attention. People often follow patterns in their behavior. Don't let hope blind you to red flags. Observe their actions over time before deciding how much of yourself to invest. This helps you avoid unnecessary pain and disappointment. Letting them control the narrative. When someone reaches out, especially after a long silence, they might try to steer the conversation in a way that benefits them. They could frame past events to downplay their mistakes or shift the blame to you. Allowing them to control the narrative can put you on the defensive, making it harder to stand your ground. Instead, stay confident in your perspective. You don't need to argue or prove yourself. Just calmly uphold your truth without being swayed by their version of events. Rushing into reconciliation. Reconnecting with someone can feel exciting, especially if you miss them. However, rushing into reconciliation without addressing past issues can set you up for disappointment. Before rebuilding the relationship, take the time to assess whether the foundation is strong enough to support it. Have they truly changed? Are you both willing to communicate openly and work through past challenges? A thoughtful approach will save you from repeating old mistakes. Sacrificing your standards. When someone contacts you, it's tempting to lower your standards to keep the connection alive. You might accept half-hearted efforts or tolerate behavior you previously wouldn't have. This sends the message that your boundaries and self-worth are negotiable. Instead, maintain your standards. If they're serious about reconnecting, they'll rise to meet you. Never settle for less than you deserve. Ignoring their actions in favor of words. Words are easy to say, but actions reveal true intentions. If someone claims they've changed or want to rebuild your trust, pay attention to what they do, not just what they say. Are they consistent in their behavior? Do they respect your boundaries? Actions should align with their promises. By focusing on their deeds, you'll avoid falling for empty words and ensure their intentions are genuine. Overestimating their importance. When someone from your past contacts you, it's easy to give them too much significance. You might start rethinking your priorities or placing them at the center of your thoughts. Remember, they're just one person in your life, not the entirety of it. Keep perspective. Don't let their presence overshadow your goals, relationships, or personal growth. Your life should remain balanced, regardless of who chooses to come or go, allowing guilt to influence your decisions. If the person contacting you brings up guilt, whether intentionally or unintentionally, it can be hard to think clearly. They might remind you of things you should have done or moments when you weren't there for them. While it's good to acknowledge any mistakes, don't let guilt dictate your decisions. Take responsibility for your part, but don't carry the weight of theirs. Healthy relationships are built on mutual understanding, not manipulation. Failing to protect your emotional energy. Not everyone who contacts you deserves access to your emotional energy. If the interaction drains you, disrupts your peace, or brings back unresolved pain, it's okay to limit your engagement or even walk away. Your mental well-being should always be your top priority. Protect your energy by being selective about who you allow into your inner circle, even if they reach out with good intentions, assuming they've changed without evidence. People can say they've grown or learned from their mistakes, but change requires proof. Don't assume someone has truly transformed just because they say they have. Look for consistent patterns of improvement over time. Be patient and cautious before fully trusting them again. Genuine change takes effort and time, and you deserve to see that before opening up completely. Letting fear of conflict silence you. When someone contacts you, you might avoid addressing important issues because you fear conflict. This is a mistake. Avoiding difficult conversations only delays resolution and can create misunderstandings. If there's something that needs to be discussed, whether it's past hurt, boundaries, or expectations, approach it with calm and clarity. Healthy communication isn't about avoiding constructively. Difficult conversations about resolving it constructively.